I am live and I'm back and I'm proud and I'm so happy to be in this group today. Boop, boop, boop. Cruising, Bon Voyage, everybody aboard. You guys, I am doing my maiden voyage with this, actually two different groups. Miss Angie's group and Tammy's group is a first for me. And I am excited to be here. And what's happening with this thing, if you guys are coming on and you don't know about the whole cruise event, basically what has been going on, this is a 7-day virtual cruise with a multitude of crafting groups that are doing their thing and enjoying the crafting and they're setting up. So I think this was originally organized by Miss Tammy from Crafty Peeps. And then she's kind of just put it out there and let all these other groups come on board and do their thing. And so I actually was able to slide in here as a there I am already. Cool, man. I was able to slide in here as a somebody need a fill in, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Hi, Angie. How are you? Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, I do believe, Angie, this might be my first time with you. I've been in a lot of other groups, but you know, as far as this is my maiden voyage. So yeah, so let me give you a few little bit of rundown about this thing. This particular event is being streamed into the Crafty Blessings with Angie. That's where I'm actually doing the live presentation in the group, but also the cruise director, is that what she's called? The cruise director, Tammy from Crafty Peeps, and her group is the Create and Celebrate, and that's CCC. And actually, like I said, that's a 7-day event. We're into day 4 of this event, so it goes from the 14th to the 20th. Is that what I've got here? I've got notes, guys. I'm trying to make sure that I get all the information in for everybody. So make sure that you're actually going. Hey, Robin, how's it going? So make sure that you're actually joining both of the groups. If you haven't joined Angie's Crafty Blessed with Angie's Creative Crafty Friends and or Tammy's groups, which is, like I said, is CCC, Crafty Peeps, and the Create and Celebrate, all right, virtual cruise. And like I said, if you want to see what's been going on, like from the beginning, the best way to do that is really go into the Crafty Creators community group, join that group. And all of this is in my description, guys, so you guys can see all that. Go in there and you can see from like all the different groups in the, I actually got to do that myself. I got to go back and look at some replays. I've just been having kind of like a hairy week. So, but I definitely want to see all the really cool things. Like I said, it's going to the 20th. There's other groups, I think Victoria's group's tomorrow. So it's really cool how these groups come together and do some really fun stuff. Thank you, Miss Minnie. Hey, how's it going, girl? All right. So for those that are coming on, like I said, I'm probably going to be new to some of the people because I've never been in either one of these groups before. So if you don't know me or know what I'm about, I primarily work with clay. And it's either, there's June. Hey, Miss June, how are you? I usually work with either polymer clay or air dry clay. Polymer is a type of clay that you bake in your oven. The air dry, of course, is air dry, and it depends on the project what I do. There's Miss Victoria. Hey, girl, how are you doing, Vicki? So my project today is definitely a clay one, and I know a lot of people are like into the fall. It's not that I'm a fall person, but I'm still in Florida. I still feel summery, and I haven't quite gone there. And I thought, well, since this is kind of like a cruise event, we're going to talk a little bit about cruises, by the way. I've been on a cruise. I'm looking to do another one, hopefully really soon. So I want to talk a little bit about that. But my event, my project is going to be my little chunky girl mermaid. And it's going to be pretty cute. So I've done a little chunky girl before. She was my beauty queen. And so I'm going to do another one. It's not like your traditional mermaid. She's actually very cute and fun. So what I like to do is take you down onto my table so that you can see a close-up view of what I'm doing. It just works with my camera setup and whatnot. And so I've got Miss Patsy. Hey, Miss Patsy, how are you? Patsy Workman. And so as you guys come in, like I said, if you're watching this after the little red button up there in the corner, that's after the live. And please put in hashtag replay in the comments and let me know where you're coming from. I would love to be able to reach out to you. I do go back and look at every one of my comments after I do these, guys. So I appreciate that. All right. So like I said, what else I was going to say? Oh, there's one other thing I was going to say before I actually get started. Oh, I know what it is. I have my 5-minute timer. I set my timer for 5 minutes before the end of my live. And so after that, I run this little giveaway tool. So stay tuned till the end. If you would like to get in on getting a chance to win a $5 Amazon gift card, I put you on the list and whoever the winner is. And then at the end of the month, I distribute those out to people. So, hey, Miss Debbie Taylor, how are you, girl? It's good to see you. And like I said, if you're not familiar, just tap on the screen, give me a like and a follow. I really love that. Appreciate that. All right, I think without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera down. I can still see comments. You guys chat amongst yourself, talk to me. Got any questions about clay? Did I see Deb? I thought I saw Deb Cross in here. I don't know if maybe she'll come on. There's Debbie Taylor. All righty. So guys, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and switch my cameras now, and then I'll pull myself back up at the end there. So. All right, so you guys will see some of the madness that goes on my little area here. I'm a pretty organized person. I have to be because I'm working with this clay and everything. But like I said, I'm going to give you a little explanation about what I'm doing. For those that don't know, I know there's quite a few guys that have already seen me before. I miss design and bind. So I am working with the Super Sculpey clay today. This is a polymer clay. It's one of my favorites for doing hand building because it's a lot firmer, holds up a little bit better. I've also got, you can see that comes like this. And I take it off in slices and then I kind of work it and condition it. Here's a little block right here, but I get it to these. So sometimes I do it in these sheets depending on the project. And I'm going to be covering this up and you guys will see all that in a minute, but it's all been rolled out with my pasta maker and whatnot. And here's another little piece. Now this piece I actually custom colored myself. This is actually this is crazy sticky, this particular one. But I did some blue, a little white, and some yellow to get this pretty teal color. I am going to be putting a colored stencil color over that. So, all right, so that's it. Like I said, it's crazy sticky. I'm going to have to be using my cornstarch. I put a little cornstarch on my fingers here, and it makes it a little bit more easy to handle when I'm ready to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing, like I said, I think I got all my notes out of the way for you guys. The one thing that I forgot to say is up after me, so I don't forget, is Miss Sherry with Sunshine Designs. I think we've been kind of neck and neck, her and I, the last 2 times have been on lives. I guess we're just similar time frames, but make sure you guys go see her as well and watch all the crafters today. All right, so what am I going to do? Well, it all starts with a little bit of clay and a ball of aluminum. Okay, so I just botted the aluminum up. I got it to a particular ball size that I need. And the way I do that is you smudge it with your hands and you can kind of tap it and tap, 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 and it'll kind of get to the shape you need. It's not perfect, but once we get the clay on there, it starts coming together. The reason I do this is because, hey, Doris, who else is there? It's Andy. Let me see, Minnie. Okay, yeah, you guys are just chatting amongst yourself. That's fine. All right, so the reason I do this, you guys have probably seen this, is because it's an armature. It keeps you from having to use so much clay. And that's kind of it, really. Just it uses less clay. And of course, if you do an air dry and you have a big bolt like this, it'd take you forever to dry. So you just kind of do a little cheat with this. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm actually going to be putting this on, I'm going to be wrapping this around. This is kind of of course, a white girl, Caucasian flesh tone, but I'm going to be adding a little bit extra color to it in a minute. But what I'm doing here is taking this sheet and I'm literally just covering it with this with this aluminum ball. And then we're going to re-roll that out again. And who would ever know, right, that you've got a big ball of aluminum sitting inside your clay. But that's actually how it's done. A lot of times they do aluminum as your armatures, wire. That's just when you're doing figurines, that's pretty much how it rolls. I've got a little extra piece here. I didn't know how much I was going to need. Hey, Miss Doris, thank you for sprinkling there. I really appreciate it. So I'm just curious, have you guys been watching these events? Oh my gosh, like I said, the 7-day cruise event. Let me ask you, okay, we're going to talk about cruises for a minute. First off, I'd just like to know, put in the comments if you've ever been on a cruise and where you went. I mean, if you've been on multiple cruises, obviously you can put those in, but I'd like to know at least in the comments if whoever's been on a cruise and where their destination was. Was it just, little 3-day? I've actually done one 3-day cruise, and it was, I'm in Florida. It was out of Orlando. We went to the Royal Caribbean cruise lines and went to the little Bahama jaunt. They have their own little island out there, and it was pretty cool. I used to live in Vegas, and I worked in the casinos in the industry, and I always thought that I wouldn't really care for cruises because I'm like, it's going to be like being in a floating hotel. And, I'm just thinking I'm just really not going to like it. But a friend of mine a couple of years ago, her and a bunch of coworkers were going on a cruise and she invited me. And I'm like, okay, what not? Like I said, it was just a a 3-day guy to the Bahamas, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was the best thing. We had so much fun. I love the adventures. I love the slides, you know, just going and doing. And of course, for those people that like to eat the buffets, you know that you've got like a plethora of food to choose from. And so it's pretty cool. You know, it was really cool. And I had a really nice group of people that were with too. There was about 6 of us, I think. And there was one guy. It was all girls, and there was one guy that came with the husband, and the rest of it was just us and a bunch of girls. And he didn't seem to mind. We did fine. We all had a great time floating in the waters, doing the slides, and going to the Bahamas. I used to actually live in Nassau in the Bahamas when I was younger, like 12. And so it was, for me, it was kind of like, ooh, I get to go back and see if I can remember some of the areas. Of course, we were just in the main tourist area. I didn't get to go off the beaten path too much because we didn't really have time. But I'd love to go like revisit where I used to live and whatnot. It's been so long, I kind of forgot all about it. Okay, let's look at some comments. Never been on one, but have been on a day cruise. Okay, yeah, I've done some of those as well. I have never been on one, but I want to go soon. My daughter's on a cruise. Oh my gosh, that's right. She got married, so she did a cruise. Like I said, it's really cool. I mean, number one, it's reasonably priced for everything you get. And I mean, they're just, I would encourage everybody to do it. Like I said, that one was a few years ago right before COVID hit, and we had a great time. I know things have changed. I actually have a friend right now who just recently, I'm talking about in the last 3 months, and she's like close to 60. She started working on a cruise line, guys. She went through the whole process. It took her almost 4 months to get qualified and go through all of her testing thing, but she's actually working on a cruise line. She's in one, I think it's Norwegian or something. It's one of the ones that goes back and forth to Hawaii. And you know, there's different things about it that she tells me are good and bad, but you know, it would be kind of fun for a while. But they do work their tail off when they're on them cruises, I'll tell you that. All right, so you guys can see I've got how I just kind of roll this in there, and what happens is that clay kind of settles in some of those little divots in the aluminum. It makes it look a little bit cleaner. It looks like a more of a ball. Like to do the Viking cruise. Okay. Oh, the Viking cruise would be really cool, June. Yeah. My next one, honestly, I want to go to the Cozumel. There's Royal Caribbean has one that's like I think it's 4 days, 5 nights, or opposite, 5 days, 4 nights. And it goes into Cozumel, and you know, to do the Mayan ruins and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, my husband, you know, Mexican. So if we get stuck, I've been to Mexico many times in the past, but I used to live out west. But anyway, he'll be able to translate. We get stuck in an area that we don't know how to maneuver around. Of course, you go out on those excursions, and they've got tour guides and all that. Okay, so what I've got here, this is basically going to be her little chunky body. It looks kind of like an egg right now. I do want to, you know, it looks like there's a little bit of rumply bumply in it, but actually it's going to turn out to be pretty good once I'm done. And what I need to do is she's going to be laying on her side. I'm going to probably add some other elements on a piece of wood after I get this far. But let's see, which side do I want to use? I think I'll use this side. All right, so what we're going to do now, this is the base of her body. I need to create a tail for her. So I'm just going to kind of do this little rolling number here. Hey, Miss Sherry, how's it going? Yeah, Miss Sherry Sunshine Designs is up next, guys. So make sure you check her out. Crafty Therapy Puddle Farm. Jennifer, hello. Hi, Miss Crafty Therapy at Puddleby Farm. Well, that's a mouthful. I don't know if I can say that 3 times. But how about hello from Texas? That's better. I used to live in Texas, guys. I was in the military. I was stationed there for a few years. My daughter was born there. So I know Texas a little bit. So what I'm doing here at this point is I'm just kind of creating this little tail. I'm going to try to figure out how I'm going to do it. I think what I'm going to do is I need to have a split in it. I'm just going to kind of do it this way. So has anybody ever worked with clay, by the way? Anybody interested in working with clay? If you are, I do have a private group where we do projects in there. And you can get with me on sidebar on that one and PM me, and I'll let you know more about that if you're interested. Yeah, we do a lot of really fun things. And I've got something really coming up on my computer. A McAfee is telling me, do I want to fix my virus problems? Well, not now, because I don't really think I have any, to tell you the truth. They're just trying to tell me that I do. All right, go away, guy. Again. Stop. Anyway, cancel. All right, there we go. And don't you love it when you get phone calls or like some kind of craziness coming up when you're trying to go live and it just totally interrupts you, totally interrupts your flow. We'll get back to it. All right, love watching you. I need to learn. Hey, Michelle, like I said, Daryl, if you want to come on and just be a part of my class for 1 month, I mean, you're more than welcome. This is not straight. I need to get it more straight. I think what I'm going to do is flatten it out like this, and then I'll just do it like looking at it more down on it than trying to do it in hand. So this, like I said, this is a hand built, and I don't have any molds. Sometimes I do molds a lot. I've just been like in mold craziness. I've got so many cool molds. I haven't even used them all yet from Temu. They've been coming all over the place and buying different molds and stuff. I've got some really fun ones. In some upcoming events, I'm going to be using with this really cool baby mold. Oh my Lord, it's going to be so cool. It's a really cute baby mold. Okay, so anyway, back to the cruises for a second. Oh, a crafting cruise. Yes. Yes. There was a couple of ladies, guys. I don't know all of the groups out there these days, but there were a couple of ladies that were actually doing some sort of, there was like 4 ladies. You guys might know who they are. I just kind of ran across them when I was going through my Facebook once in a while. And I saw that they were doing some sort of cruise thing like that. I think it's probably already booked. I don't know. All right. So you can see what I did is I took a little notch out of there, and I'm just making this big old fat tail. And I'm going to attach the tail to this body. It looks weird now, but once I get it all together, you guys will be able to see what I'm doing. It's going to look really cool. Yeah, crafting cruise would be awesome to do. By the way, like I said, somebody said that they've been on cruises. You want to tell me where you went if you've been on a cruise? Like, and also, and or what was your favorite thing about the cruising? Was it the food? Was it the excursions? Was it just the overall everything, the water? I mean, give me some feedback on what it is about the cruise that you liked. I don't know. For me, it was honestly probably a little bit of everything. Like I said, I had a good group of people I was with. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to attach this tail to here, and then I'm going to add some more to the back because I want it to look more like it's flowing. It's not here. Actually, that's the wrong piece to use. I want to use this big block. T Creations is doing a craft cruise. That's what it is. Oh, okay. All right, that's probably what it is, darling. I remember seeing that. I ran across it and I was like, oh my Lord, that would be so cool. That's in April. That's my birthday month. Oh, maybe I should check into that. I got a couple of friends that might want to have go on that thing. We'll have to look at that and see. All right, so like I said, when it comes to hand building, just pretty much when you're doing everything, it doesn't look so pretty in the beginning until you start working it in. So they say trust the process, right? So, but like I said, what I'm doing is she's going to have like a little chunky body. She's going to have her little tail twirling up. And then I'm actually going to cover her tail with this. I'm going to put another layer of clay. Now, one thing a person could do is you could just paint all this and you wouldn't have to put that other layer, that real thin layer of clay. But I wanted to do that because I wanted to be able to run this color stencil over it. And you guys will see that in a minute. Hopefully be able to get to that. So what I make sure that you're obviously when you're doing this, that you're pressing your clay in together. The back side's not looking too pretty right now. I have to clean that up. Some of the things that I do on here, like I said, I get to a certain point. I never say that I finished a bowl. I was in Vicky's class, Vicky's event the other day, and I actually managed to finish a bowl. I couldn't believe it. It turned out pretty cool too, my little leaf bowl. But yeah, so I just get as far as I can with these guys, but you can already see it's starting to take a little bit of shape, and I'll be playing around with it some more. But I'm going to be covering it all with this, so I'll have to maneuver that a little bit when the time comes. All right, so there we're looking. I think I need to make it a little bit smaller in this area and kind of turn it. I want it to be a little twisted, like she's kind of flopping her tail a little bit. Okay, let me see. I'm listening and watching, but can't comment. Making banana bread. Oh, banana bread, guys. I love bananas. Who else likes bananas? I I'm banana for bananas. I have a banana smoothie, a banana avocado, and I put coffee creamer in it with nuts. And sometimes I put my little powders, my smoothie powders and things like that in there. And I had me this big old fat smoothie every day. And sometimes I put some instant coffee granules, and yeah, so, but I throw frozen bananas in there. All right, so that's going to be, I need to make sure she's going to sit up right. I got it. You can get my little flat spot there. She might be a little top heavy. Well, you know, she's chunky, so she might be a little bit on the heavy side. All right, pound her down. And she's wanting to stay down like that. So I might do this if she keeps wanting to flop down because I've got so much weight up here. What I might end up doing is putting a little bit of wire up in here and attaching it. I'm going to attach it, probably going to put it on a little flat board like this. I'm going to paint all that up, and that way she won't move on me. But that's kind of how I do it when, excuse me, making all this noise. I've got a noise cancellation thing, a background noise cancellation on StreamYard, and it's supposed to be helping me keep the background noise down. So hopefully you guys won't hear a lot of banging and moving and stuff going on. All right, so I think once I put her front on, she'll probably balance. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Okay, there's a crochet cruise. I don't know about crafting. That would be fun. Crocheting. Oh, it's okay. Cheryl says cruising is our favorite on Royal Caribbean, Eastern, Western, Southern Caribbean, but most beautiful was cruise that stopped all of Hawaiian islands. Maui is our favorite. Yeah, I have a friend that lives in Maui, and I told you I have a friend that's on that cruise right now. Poor Maui, though. I mean, whew, they're going through some stuff, ain't they, guys? All those fires. That's pretty sad. I contacted my friend. He's not on Maui, but I said, "Are you okay? Is everything?" Or he goes, "Yeah, I'm not on that island, but I can see all of the, you know, the destruction that's happening here," which is kind of sad. I haven't been to Hawaii yet. Of course, I've got a friend that lives there. I got a friend on a cruise ship, so I don't know what I'm waiting for. I need to just make my way over there. So we got here. It says basement crafting. Oh, hey, Michelle. How's it going? Michelle was up before me. And I loved your pumpkins. I love the fact that you did a vertical stack. I do vertical pieces sometimes too. I like vertical. All right, so what I'm doing here is just trying to make her little arm. All right, let's see if I can get this arm made. It's kind of hanging where she's going to be on her side. And then she's going to be like leaning on her arm. She'll probably just go ahead and put her head on first. Let me do her head. I know this looks really weird right now, doesn't it, guys? But you guys get to see some of this process of what you go through when you're making these things. Because it all starts with just a ball and a piece of clay, and you start working it. All right, so I'm just going to her head's not going to be super big. She's going to have one of those like unproportioned bodies where the head's smaller than the rest of her. And I think I'll put a little bit of a neck on her too. Get a little neck. I might do a swim cap. I'm not sure. I like the idea of doing a swim cap on her. We'll see. Like I said, I started looking up Pinterest a while back, and I saw these little chunky ladies doing different things, like in different poses, and I thought they were just so stinking cute. Let me take that arm off for right now. So stinking cute, and I thought I want to make a few chunky ladies of my own. So here I am. I'm working up some chunky ladies. I don't know if you guys saw one. I did one before. She had a red dress on, and I called her my beauty queen. She came out pretty good. It's nice. I mean, you know, I'm a chunky lady, so why not represent, right, guys? We can represent. Chunky ladies are sexy too, right? Okay, let's see if I can get that. Now, one thing I love to do is I love to use these silicone tools. They're really awesome for smoothing. Oh, it's not my favorite. The one I like the best is this little pointy one. It gets in there and it gets all your fingerprints out, and you can just really smooth it in there real nice. This is going to be her neck, guys. Bottom's not real pretty right now, but I'll work on the bottom later. Yeah, so you just basically, when you're working with clay, it's just a bunch of shapes that you put together, and then you just try to form it out the best you can to look like something. At least that's what I do. Let's see if that's going to be okay for her neck. Her neck's going to be, it looks like a boob. I'm sorry, guys, but that's it. Maybe anybody else think that? Hopefully not. Okay, so I'm going to put her head on. Got her head on her neck. All right, now I got to make sure she's proportioned right. Her neck looks kind of big, I'll tell you that. She looks like she's got a bit of a rubber neck. She got a bruiser neck. Take that neck down a little bit and cut that off. All right. So yeah, cruising. Cruising is to me, like I said, I don't know. I think when I went on our cruise, Like I said, they have the little, anybody been on that little, live in this area in Florida and been on that little jaunt over to, leaves out of Cape Canaveral in Florida and then goes to, you know, you basically are on the water, but they have their little cruise island. They have their own island, Royal Caribbean, and they take you over there and you cruise with them, and then they, you know, take you out for the day, and they got zip lining and their own little water park and all that kind of stuff. So it was really fun. We were basically out there for a day. Okay, she's not looking too pretty on the back. I'm not going to worry about the back right now. If I can just get this part put together, then and show you guys that it's going to look like something, then we'll be in business. All right, so we got that. Now let's try her arm. See what we got. Her arm looks way too big. She's way too fat. Her arms are just a little bit too chunky for me. All right, we're going to pull it off about like that and see how we're doing. One thing nice about this particular clay, like I said, of course, it's just white girl Caucasian, but you know, it's got that beige tone for working with that. And I plan on coloring her a little bit. I need to give her a hand. I could just mush her hand like that, put it up against her head. So she's going to be sitting. You guys starting to see it, how she's going to be sitting. She's going to be laying on her side. Trust the process, guys. It'll be cute. It'll be cute. I want to get to the part where I can actually get her body built and put the tail on so you guys can see what it'll look like when I put that blue on her tail. And I think what I'm going to do, I'll probably just paint her face instead of doing any kind of a face on her. I'm going to make sure she's right, though. She looked like she might be a little bit crooked. How's her tail going to work on this one? Bend that. She's got some thick, what you call it's here? Her wrist. I don't want to have that thick of a wrist. Now, if I wasn't doing this on a live, what I probably would do is do this a little bit and then go ahead and bake her so that she'll be a little bit more firmer. Like I could actually poison. I could position her arm, and that way she'll stand up with her arm, won't be as squishy. But, you know, I'm here with you guys, so this is how I'm doing it, and it'll work it out the best way I can. I ain't scared. All right. So we're going to do it like that. Like I said, I end up playing with her somewhat, guys, but I wanted to see you. So you can kind of see she's starting to take shape. All right. As long as she's not too far off proportion, that's the one thing I got to make sure she looks decent. And her arm's a little funky there. But okay, so now what I got to do is put the other arm on. And then I'll go ahead. Matter of fact, I'm going to do the tail right now, I think, instead of doing her arm. I've seen the mermaids you're talking about. Yes, they are cute. Like I said, this one, I'm going to dress her up and put her like on a little bit on the board, and I'll add some little sea elements around her, I think. I kind of want to do that. All right, so now what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to do this part here. You guys can see where I'm going to work this this mermaid tail. I've been using cornstarch. This stuff is crazy. This particular clay at Dollar General, they actually sell these little teeny, like 2-ounce little small bricks, and it comes like 3 or 4 colors to a package, and it's like $3.50. And I get these even though they're crazy sticky, because I like to use these for color blending. Of course, you know, you can get your regular Sculpies and anything you want, but I just use these because they're cheap and they're close by my house. I just run up there and grab some, and it has red. It's hard to find red sometimes with your colors. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I don't know how much of this I'm really going to need. Let me kind of gauge it. Hopefully I'll do this right and it won't make a hot mess on this thing. So I'm going to put it about right here. And I need to go around her. I think I'm just going to do the whole darn thing, and then I'll just cut off what I don't need. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I want to add some extra bling bling and color on her little tail. I'm going to use this Temu stencil. We'll put this down on here. Let me move her over. She's kind of sitting up. So she's kind of sitting up there. All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of color on this, just kind of give her a little shimmer shine. And so I'm going to take my color shift here, and then this metallic green. I love this color, by the way. This is a pearl green. Pearl, I don't even know. Anita's. This is Anita's brand, guys, if you ever see that. I see everybody's got their links in there. Okay, I'm not seeing what am I missing, guys? I guess everybody's just putting their links in there. Okay, yeah, she's gonna look really cool. Like I said, when I do clay, you know, it takes a little bit more time than 45. A lot of times I ended up prepping a lot of stuff just to make sure that I can get somewhat finished for you guys. Okay, so I'm just taking my dauber and I'm just gonna mix the two colors together. Honestly, that's kind of what I'm doing. And I'm just gonna lightly put it on here. I usually roll this on because it creates an embossed effect, but to tell you the truth, I actually forgot to do that. I was jabbing too much. So it's just going to be more like a stencil effect on the clay. Another thing I want to try to get to do too is I want to show you guys how you can actually, several ways you can color with clay. Uh, by the way, I actually have a little video course besides my clay group. I did a while back, I did a 10 video course on how to work with polymer clay, like beginning. And I have a whole section on coloring in there, different ways that you can color with your clay. Of course, you can actually use the clay itself to blend, but I like to use paints. I like painting with it. You can use the, the pigments, the dry pigments. You guys might have seen me use those before. You can actually use, what can you use? The, well, I've got some pastels over here. You can use the inks, alcohol inks, they all work. Okay, let's see what we got going on here, guys. I like this little swirly pattern. I think it's really good. I've used it a couple times. Like I said, it's a little Timu guy. And I think it's really great for the tail part. Doris Christmas. How you doing, Miss Doris? Good to see you. Good to have you here. Like I said, for those that are just coming on that you might not be familiar with what's going on here, this is a cruise event. It's a 7-day virtual cruise with all these awesome craft groups and people. We're in day 4 and I'm in Miss Angie's Crafty Blessing with Angie's Crafty Friends. And we're just we're cruising and having some fun, guys. We're doing all kinds of little projects, but it's actually put on, or I'm not supposed to say hosted. I guess it's supposed to be streaming by Miss Tammy from Crafty Peeps. And her group, of course, is the Crafty Creators Community. Excuse me, Tammy. I've got to get used to all you guys. Like I said, you're kind of new to me. All right, so this might be a little tad wet. We're going to see how this executes, guys. I know it's going to look really cool. Yeah, her arm's a little funky wonky. I got to move her arm. All right, so let's try this and see how it goes. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is like anybody ever worked with fondant, it's kind of like laying it over. I need to go probably about like right there. All right, and get it to a certain point. Hopefully, this is not going to be a fail. I mean, I know what I want to achieve. It's just a matter, is it going to work for me? Is this clay going to cooperate or is it not going to cooperate? Looks like she's got a little blanket, doesn't it? All right, just make sure that it's somewhat still tacky too, guys. This is tacky clay. All right, see what I can do here. I'm going to take her arm off for a second, honestly. I got to kind of get it squished down in there around her tail. And I want to get it around the bottom. One thing nice about this clay, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing depending on what you're doing. It stretches. So if you're a little short on some areas, it'll stretch on you. Sometimes if you don't want it to stretch, it will. Oh, sorry, I'm out of the camera, guys. I'm trying to work this thing. All right, so I'm just going to cut a section off right here, and so I can work with it. Let me use these blades. Let me use my blade. I might lose a little bit of my image on this with the stencil, but it is what it is. Sometimes I can go back and actually add a little bit of stencil cover over it. So you guys see, this is kind of like one of the processes when you see some of these really cool like polymer clay figures, they do this. They'll use the various colors and overlay on top of it. If my clay wasn't so darn sticky, it would be a little bit easier to work with. But now here's the challenge, getting it formed around that tail. We'll see how all that goes. See how all that goes. Oh, well, it's holding up pretty good, actually. a little stencil. I think it dried up. I think it's going to be really cool, guys, once I get it done, if I can get it on here. All right, let's see how I can make this go around here. All right, I got a little concentration for a second, guys. You guys talk amongst yourselves so I can make sure that I'm getting this up here right. Cut this little section off here. The bottom, you know, I mean, you can obviously, if I mount it, you're not going to see the bottom. Not that I want to look, you know, too terrible, but I'm not as concerned about the bottom as I am the sides. So I'm just going to kind of press all this together. And I need to cut. I need scissors. You can actually cut this stuff with scissors, guys. Just like that. See? All right. Then I think what I'm going to have to do is cut that down the center there too for her tail. Cut that little piece off. And just kind of form it around there. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Actually, it's starting to get there. All right. Cut that little piece off. Oh, off with her head. Her head just went rolling, guys. I'll put that back on in a minute. All right, let's see where we're at here. Look at my time. Okay. Time flies when you're having fun. All right. It is a pretty color. Like I said, I color blended the teal myself, and I was kind of going for a little lighter. But as I was just blending it, I thought I stopped and I said, you know what? I like this color. I'm just going to stick with it. I'm just going to stick with this color. All right. So let's see. Where else do I have to cut off? Right in here. Anybody else brave enough to want to give something like this a try? More than welcome. Like I said, I can teach you how to do all this stuff. So then at this point, I just need to kind of press that in. What is that? That's a little bit of blue that got on her. So I'll have to do a little bit of touch up. If you got a piece that's already like blended into your clay, you could actually just kind of dig it out, or you can just put a little piece of clay over it and hide it, or you can paint over it too. There's 3 ways you can take that out. Now, what do I need here? I need this. Fix this guy up. Okay, I'm going to try to get her head back on and get her arms. And that way I can color a little bit on her body, on her skin tone, which is what I wanted to do. How is that looking? It's doing pretty good. You just bend that over like that. I can work that tail up a little bit. Okay, so she's got a mermaid tail. Looking pretty cool, I must admit. I'm liking it. Of course, anytime you touch the surface of your area, the paint that you put on top, you're going to lose a little bit, but I'm not going to sweat it too much right now. I can go back and fix everything. All right, so I've got the tail. Let's put her head back on and see how that goes. I might end up, let me do this, get my stuff. I got this Sculpey. This is the stuff that you can bake. It's like a glue. And I'm going to put a little bit of dab on there. I probably should put a little wire to also secure. But once this dries, her head will not come off. Off with her head. It'll stay on just fine. Okay, but it's just got right now at that stage where it's kind of stuck there and not wanting to move too much. All right, so just make sure that I've got it sitting like that. Then I'm going to put her arm back on here and get her poised. Can you guys start to see how she's starting to take shape a little bit? Then I need to, like I said, I'll work with her hair. I think I'm just going to do a swim cap. I'm going to do a swim cap because it'd be kind of cute to have a mermaid with a swim cap on. Sometimes I do the long flowing hairs on them, but and this time I think I'm just going to do a swim. There goes her head again. I'm telling you. Hold on. Yes, I will bake this, Miss Minnie. I sure will. This is the polymer clay. You could easily do this process in an air dry. Of course, the air dry clay you wouldn't cover. Well, you can actually drape like this if you want to, but it's not really conducive to draping. With the air dry clay, you probably just build it up and then you would paint whatever you paint on your image. Okay, I want to get that other arm on. You guys, I might have to end up putting a dang piece of wire in her hair. I mean, in her head just to hold her for now. Anyway, let's get the other arm. I can do the other arm, and then I can stick a piece. You know what? Poo on it. I'm going to take a minute and put some wire in here. I've got a little floral wire. This is actually really thin. I should probably do something a little thicker, but just for now, to hold her head in place. She's driving me nuts. she's trying to be rogue with her head. So I'm going to stick that wire right down in there, guys. Actually, it's got to go through the aluminum. It really doesn't have to, but it should. Dang it. If I had a heavier wire, it would go in there. This is real thin wire. Let me cut it up a little bit. I bought a couple of Kim's pieces. Ah, thank you, Miss Kim. That's thing one. Kim Bernard and I, we were in another group together, and since we're both Kims, we were kind of like the only two at the time, and I kind of dubbed us thing one and thing two. She was thing one since she'd been there longer. So I call her thing one. And thank you for that. I appreciate it. Like I said, sometimes you just got to work these little bubby dogs, get them where you want. All right, I'm going to put, she does not want to stay. Her head does not want to stay. Got to be difficult on camera. You just got to give me problems, don't you? All right, the other arm is going to basically go right here, and that's too long. It's going to be a very simple arm, just squishing the hand together like that. Okay, squishing that little hand together. You guys, I'm already almost at my 5-minute timer mark. And so when my timer goes off, I'm going to give you guys a hashtag word, and you will put that in the comments. And then we're going to run that little giveaway tool. And like I said, don't forget, once again, that you're checking out all these crafters today. I know they're going to have some amazing things going on. And go into not only Angie's Crafty Blessing, Angie's Crafty Friends group, but also in the Crafty Creators community group. And you can see everything that's been going on this week. Check out the rest of the crafters the rest of the week. We still got a few days to go, all the way to Sunday, right? I think it's all the way to Sunday. Oh, just CCC works. I know that is about, I'm thinking to myself, I'm laughing, I said, say that 3 times fast. Okay. Anyway, definitely gonna have to, I'll put a little bit extra touch on her, but you guys can see. All right, she's taking shape. She's gonna look like a little mermaid. I'm actually gonna put some writing and whatnot on her. I have to put some boobies on her, guys. I don't want her to be totally flat now. She's gotta have a little bit of boobs. I need something to prop this darn thing up. It's driving me crazy. It wants to fall over. All right, there. Set her up. So I'm gonna put some boobies on her. Yeah, she will be. She really will be. It's gonna be pretty cute. Like I said, I'm gonna put a little cap on her, a little swim cap. I'm gonna put a little sign that says Mermaid Life on the front, and do her up really jazzy. But should I make her like medium-sized boobs, little boobs? But you guys tell me. I don't want to be. I don't want to be like gargantuan things. I think I'll just make them kind of so-so. Join us at Crafty Blessings. Yes, absolutely. She needs some boobies. That's what I'm going for right now. I don't want to do like little peas, though. I want to make them somewhat big, although, you know, some of them are set like that. They're like whimsical, and they make them like really off proportion on purpose. So, you know, whatever I do with her, we'll see. Yeah, you know what? Since I've gained weight, I must say my husband is not complaining about my breast size. Oh, TMI, guys, sorry about that. All right, I'm actually going to end up putting some of the, I'm going to take this clay, some of this clay, and put on her boobies. I think that's a nice size right there. And they're never both exactly the same, right? One's always a little bit bigger than the other one, I believe. At least I know mine are. The same thing as everything on your body. I think she looks pretty good right there. I don't think we're really going to do the cleavage thing. Maybe I'll put them a little closer. Last time I did my other girl too, I talked about boobies. Guys, I don't usually talk about such sensitive matters, but since we're there and most of us are women, I'm sure there'll be some guys on here. Hopefully there won't be any too many pervy guys. All right, let's see. Ooh, is my alarm? Okay, my alarm is off. Snooze, stop. Okay, guys, so my alarm is gone off. So right now I've actually got 3 minutes according to my computer time. That thing must have been snoozing for a while. Go ahead and in the comments, put in the hashtag word, and that's going to be hashtag, let me look, actually I forgot what it was. I think it was, oh, cruise. Hashtag cruise. Make sure that you do not put a space in there. Hashtag cruise in the comments, and I'm going to run that giveaway tool here in a second. I was really hoping I would get to a certain point where I could actually show you how I'm going to paint her with, I know I know I can be pretty TMI, honestly. I try to keep it pretty clean here, but you know, people that know me know that I'm pretty TMI when it comes to, you know, life stuff. Okay. Anyway, I do believe I do have a start. She's got some little boobies. I'm gonna put her little bra on and fix her all up, and she's gonna be super cute, guys. So make sure that you're on my page and you can see the finished product. I'm gonna be posting it in other groups, but just make sure that you watch me and you can see that. Okay. All right. Hashtag cruise, not trip. That's one Mel. Let's not do trip. It's hashtag cruise. That's the word we're looking for. I'm going to change my camera up here. Get my camera back up, and then we're going to run that little guy. By the way, like I said, make sure you see Miss Sherry. Hey guys, who didn't see me in the beginning, and go see Miss Sherry and see what she's got going on. Let me see. Share screen. All right. Giveaway tool. Share. You guys haven't seen this. It's kind of fun. If it works. If it doesn't work, I'll put, there we go. If it doesn't work, I'll pick somebody in the comments and let you know. All right, start collecting and draw. Victoria, you're the winner, girlfriend. All right, this is great. I've had who I had Connie last on, who I was in her group doing her thing, and she won, and now you won. It's like it's nice to have these girls put out like that. Okay, let me see. I've got one more minute. I am not going to leave before my time is up, but I know that Miss Sherry with Sunshine Designs is already doing her thing. So you guys just continue to watch the rest of the crafters today and join. And like I said, make sure you see everything through Sunday, okay? And I will definitely get finished up with my little girl. You can kind of see her better from this angle. So she's going to look cute. Don't mind the boobies. I'll fix her boobies up. Okay. And I'll make her look really sharp, really cool. All right. And so that's it. That's my time, guys. I will see you next week. I got 3 events next week. So make sure you join my page. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.